Hey friends, Mrs. Collier here to teach you a little grammar, and today we are going to focus on clause starters. What in the world is a clause? Well, a clause can be a sentence that has a complete thought, or it can be part of a sentence that is incomplete if it's written on its own. So there's two different types of clauses that we're going to look at. First is the independent clause. And an independent clause is a complete thought with a subject and a verb. Here's an example. The cat ran up the stairs. That is a complete sentence, a complete thought. The subject is cat and the verb is ran. Independent means the sentence can stand on its own and it doesn't need any information to make it clear. The other type of clause is called a dependent clause. It's an incomplete thought, but it still has a subject and a verb. Here's an example. While the cat ran up the stairs, what about the cat? What did he do when he got up the stairs? So there's not enough information for that to be a complete thought. We would need to add on to that sentence. So here's a little video that I found that will give you a little bit more explanation. So take a look. So let's practice on our own. Let's see if we can do this together. Right now, we're just identifying what type of clause it is, whether it's independent or dependent. So let's look at the first one. Johnny sat on the dock and fished all day. Is this a complete thought? Would you say it was independent or dependent? If you guessed independent, you're correct. Johnny sat on the dock and fished all day is a complete thought. Doesn't need any information to make sense. The next one. While sitting watching the birds, would you say that was independent or dependent? Dependent is correct if that's what you said. It depends on more information to make sense. Let's look at the next one. Since it is only Monday, you guessed it right, dependent. It needs more information to make sense. Next one. I finished all my work that was assigned to me. Yep, you are right. Independent. That means it's a complete sentence. It doesn't need any information. It stands alone as a complete thought. And the last one. When I got up, and that is it. That again is dependent. It needs more information. It depends on more information to make sense. Okay, let's take a quick review. A good way for us to remember what a dependent clause is, it will never be a complete thought, and you will need to add to the sentence for it to make sense. It depends on more information. There is always a comma at the end of a dependent clause. If you notice that on a lot of our examples, for dependent clauses, there's commas because it relies on that additional information. So you're always going to see a comma at the end of the dependent clause because it separates the two ideas. Look at the example below. As I walked to the store, I saw my friend Pete playing in the yard. Now, these are actually reversed. This here, as I walked to the store, is the dependent clause. I saw my friend Pete playing in the yard is the independent clause. That means if I took this part out here, this would still be a complete sentence. So these are actually reversed. I apologize for that. So let's practice. Attached to the website, there's a worksheet that gives you two parts. The first part, you are going to identify whether or not it's an independent or a dependent clause. And the second part, you're going to actually practice with filling in the rest of the sentence, making a dependent clause into an independent clause. And on Thursday, there's a Google form attached to the site as well. We would like for you to fill that out. Take your time. There's only a few questions, and be sure to submit it so that we can check out and make sure you guys are doing the work correctly, making sure you understand. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, and we hope you have a better understanding now of what clauses are. Thank you again. We miss you. Bye-bye.